The Orange County Master Gardener Class of 2020 would like to introduce you to the world of edible landscaping. Edible landscaping is a way to add vegetables and fruits to your yard, often in existing garden beds or in containers, providing an easy source of healthy foods. This video will provide you with a taste of what edible landscaping is, why you might want to do it, and how to get started. In 2019, the town of Hillsborough adopted a new ordinance that allows flexibility in landscaping your yard. You may now plant managed natural landscapes, which are meadows or planted beds that promote pollinator habitats. Pollinators, such as birds, bees, and butterflies, carry pollen from plant to plant, enabling flowering plants to reproduce, an important process in growing foods that we eat. In the smaller picture below, a bee is gathering pollen or nectar from an echinacea plant. Pollinator populations are struggling. Reasons for their decline may include diseases, loss of habitats where they nest and raise their young, and the use of pesticides and other chemicals. If you would like to make your yard friendly to pollinators by planting a natural landscape, read more about the ordinance at the link below. As part of a natural landscape, you could grow vegetables alongside flowers that are already in your yard, perhaps as an alternative to planting a separate food garden. This concept is known as edible landscaping or foodscaping. Here's an example. You see a Seminole pumpkin plant growing alongside flowers. Growing food alongside flowers, shrubs, and trees is advantageous in many ways. It allows you to make efficient use of your yard space. You can take advantage of sunny, underutilized areas. You don't need to maintain a separate space for a food garden, and you have the flexibility to easily change or rotate plants. It provides food for your family. You can grow nutritious foods that your family really likes. You can have fresh herbs and vegetables just outside your door, and you have the option to grow organically. It helps the environment. Because you're growing food at home, you will greatly reduce food miles or the amount of fuel needed to transport goods from farms to your table. There are no energy costs for commercial storage and cooling, and no preservatives or packaging for shipping. It adds interest, beauty, and variety to your yard. Vegetable plants can have eye-catching and attractive foliage and flowers. Pictured here is a sweet potato vine growing along the ground beneath some pink zinnias. Edible landscaping is convenient. You can grow food plants right beside your house. Growing in the big tan pot is Carolina Gold rice. Note, the rice pot does not have a drainage hole, so it simulates the wet conditions of a rice field. The smaller black pot toward the front is a luscious stand of Swiss chard. Edible landscaping saves money. Vegetables and fruits grown at home cost less than what you would pay at a store or a farmer's market, and they're really fresh. This is a year's harvest of garlic grown by one member of our group. Edible landscaping provides diverse habitats for birds, butterflies, and other pollinators. Here, an eastern black swallowtail butterfly caterpillar is snacking on a parsley plant. Butterflies are helpful pollinators, so plant enough parsley to provide some for the caterpillars and plenty for yourself. Edible landscaping helps decrease weeds. By tucking vegetable plants in between other garden plants, you're eliminating spaces where weeds might germinate and grow. So what kind of things might you incorporate in an edible landscape? You can plant sweet potato vines along the edge of your flower bed. The dark purple vines pictured here are sweet potatoes and serve as a border for the adjacent bed of flowering annuals. Want to create a unique and fruitful privacy area? You could plant some blueberry bushes. When planted in a grouping, they make a beautiful hedge. Perhaps you like the fragrance of herbs. This rosemary hedge is growing in a raised bed and has a unique border made of bottles. The bottles serve a dual purpose. They support the edge of the plant bed and absorb the sun's heat, providing warmth to the soil. The combinations are endless. Here we have strawberry plants in the front along the edge of the garden growing under other plants, a fig bush with big leaves on the left, and a blueberry bush on the right. You can plant all types of vegetables and salad greens in containers. They can be easily moved, work well in many types of spaces, and add a variety of depth and color. You might place them in or around the edge of one of your flower beds, or have them freestanding in a dedicated area. Here you see big leafy collards in the large brown container and appetizing lettuce in the smaller pots up front. We love wildlife, but often prefer that they graze somewhere other than our gardens. Garlic, onions, and several herbs are good and edible deterrents to keep rabbits, voles, and deer away from plants. They don't like the smell or the taste. Here you see garlic at the bottom of the picture, parsley growing just above it, and purple basil close by. The dark green shrub on the left is a gardenia. Deer don't like its sweet smell either. To get started with edible landscaping, here's what you will need. A sunny spot. Most vegetables need 6 or more hours of sunlight to grow well. Good quality soil. It is the key to a successful garden. Some compost. A few inches goes a long way. And mulch to help minimize your weeds and keep plants from drying out. Good drainage is also important because most plants don't like wet feet. You'll also need a water source close by. And last but not least, a few plants or seeds. Think about and come up with a plan. Start small and keep it simple. Think about your time and your budget. Do you live in a historic district or have a homeowners association with rules that you need to consider? Call 811 to have utility lines marked before you dig. It's free. And get your soil tested to determine your lime and fertilizer needs. To learn about the health of your soil and to make sure you fertilize only as needed, it is advisable to do a soil test before planting in new areas. You can pick up soil test boxes and instructions at the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Office in Hillsborough. Soil tests are free from April to November and only a small fee the remainder of the year. Your test results will be sent to you via email. Look at your spaces and think about what would work best for you. You might intermingle vegetable plants among existing flowers and shrubs, or create container gardens in sunny spots, or build a raised bed like the one here to help with drainage. Keep in mind, smaller spaces are easier to maintain and take less resources. Remember the mantra, right plant, right place. Choose plants that are well suited to the sunlight, soil, and climate conditions in your yard. Plants that are right for your yard will adapt and thrive, and they are more likely to tolerate drought, pests, or other problems. Stay away from plants that typically grow in different climates or in very different soils. It is helpful to sketch out a diagram of your yard and indicate your planting areas. Given the space and sunlight, what plants will work best and where? Consider the size of your plants once they mature. Height, width, and depth. Using your diagram, mark the placement of your new plants. Design the space so your plants will have good airflow, room to grow, and room to be maintained. Remember, right plant, right place. A good way to get started is to pick 5 vegetables that you and your family really like and you know you will eat. How many plants do you need? Think about how much food you'll use. When will you plant? Keep in mind there are 3 growing seasons, fall, spring, and summer. Cool weather crops, such as radishes, lettuce, and onions, are a good way to introduce edible landscaping because they're easy to grow and they're easy to harvest. Also, if you're looking for a high yield in a small amount of space, you might want to try leafy greens, root crops, pole beans, tomatoes, or herbs. Before you plant, be sure to prepare and amend the soil utilizing the soil test results. To ensure you don't plant too early or too late, Consult the online planting calendars from the North Carolina Cooperative Extension. Consider staggering your plantings to spread out your harvest times. And as the growing season progresses, you will maintain and tend your garden by weeding, pruning, fertilizing, and mulching. Now for the bounty. Time to harvest and enjoy your homegrown vegetables, fruits, and herbs. What will you do with the extras? Freeze it? Can it? Give some away to your friends and neighbors? As you grow as a gardener, consider keeping notes. It is helpful to have a record of the type of seeds or plants you used, where you planted them, when you planted them, and your harvest dates. You might also note any seasonal changes, like an extra rainy summer, or any pests that you discovered. Which crops were most successful this year? And would you do anything differently next time? We hope this video has given you a taste of the edible landscaping possibilities that you can create. Remember, edible landscaping is easy, convenient, and fun. It provides nutritious foods and saves you money. It utilizes your space more efficiently. It promotes a healthy environment and creates new habitats for pollinators. Good luck and happy gardening. Here are some helpful references and resources. The North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service has many useful articles on its website. You can learn more or research specific topics at ces.ncsu.edu. Also, check out the Orange Gardener, a website maintained by the Orange County Master Gardener Program. It has a wealth of helpful information about vegetable gardening. We found these two books to be especially helpful. One by Bree Arthur, a horticulturist and propagator who lives in Holly Springs, North Carolina, and one by Rosalind Creasy, whose book inspired Bree to start foodscaping. Many thanks to the following. They inspired us, provided helpful information, and encouraged us as we developed this project. This video was produced by the following members of the Orange County Master Gardener Class of 2020. Photo contributions were made by the following. All images are protected by copyrights.